Hello YouTube! So today we're going to talk about my entire fitness journey. All 17 and a half years of it from... Hello? What do you want, Maximus Decimus Meridius? Hey. Oh, there you go. This is how you stretch. Oh, lovely. Okay. Fuck it. It's just gonna be in the video then. So, where was I? From all 17 and a half years of it. From the day I started as a fresh 16-year-old to the day of today as a 33 and something year old man with bad knees. It will include how I started, how I quit, all the breaks, all the struggles, every cut, every bulk, every injury, every single thing there was. I'm going to keep getting distracted by you, aren't I? But whatever. Cats get the views, so he's going to stay, isn't he? Aren't you? You're going to stay, aren't you? Baby boy. The reason I'm making this into a full-on YouTube video is because, before and after picture doesn't really cut everything that I'm going to talk about. And also there's only so much that I can put into like 2,000 letters of a caption or like a fucking 2-minute video on Reels. So full-on YouTube video it is. Also, just a little side note, please, for the love of God, do not judge my hairstyles throughout this journey. We were all young once, all right? So it's embarrassing enough as it is. So, please and thank you. I mentioned I started at 16. That is a lie. I actually started at 15. Was my first attempt. And at the time, the reason I started was the same as a lot of people do, a lot of men, a lot of boys do rather, is that I wanted to look good for girls. But so I started going to the gym to get muscle. But what do you know? It took me about a month to realize that they don't give a fuck. All they care about at that age is just making sure that you have abs, which I did. They were skinny abs, of course, because I was fucking tiny, but women don't really know any better, especially in that age. And so I quit, because why bother? I already had what I needed. Now, a year later, age 16, I have made a second start, this time properly, because my reason why was much stronger. I didn't give a fuck about the girls in this stage. It was, I wanted to start doing MMA, mixed martial arts. I was fascinated by it. I wanted to start cage fighting, but I was tiny and skinny, and they would have killed me. So I decided to gain weight before I joined so as to survive. And knowing that I am inherently lazy, because despite what it may seem on my channel and everything, like in my quote, habits and discipline and everything around this that you see now, I am actually naturally lazy, like very lazy. So I had a lot of trouble with that in the beginning. Still do, but less so. But at the time, so what I did was I convinced one of my childhood friends to start going with me. So we started going together and we kept each other mutually accountable because, on the days he would be like, I don't want to go, but if I don't go, Michael's going to be pissed at me. Whilst I would say, well, I don't want to go, but if I'm not going to go, Adam's going to be pissed at me. So we both went, even though neither one of us wanted to. And here we are. So my starting point, as you can see here, was 58 kilos. 128 pounds at 5'10" or 178 centimeters. So really fucking skinny. Right? Now, about 6 months in, I gained 20 pounds. It was obviously not a muscle, but it was a really good foundation. And my confidence went up, as you can see from the type of picture. And, things were getting good. I did also get a lot of approval from the girls in my life. But yeah, it was just, it was like that first year. You feel your confidence is at an all-time high before you're like, well, I actually ain't shit. All right. So 1 year in, I'm 45 pounds up, 21, 22 kilos. I'm basically close to 80 kilos now, which is like what is it? Wait, 40 pounds. Yeah, 165. No, 175, sorry. Something like that. Again, not all muscle. You can't gain that much. Even in a unicorn year, you can't gain that much in a year. But again, it was because of the unicorn year, it was quite solid proportion. Like, like maybe a half was muscle, which is very, very good. Or maybe like a quarter, if you be more realistic. Now, 2 years in, I've started the MMA. I've been doing it for a while. And on my first fight, I broke my hand. Broke my thumb, like the joint here, it separated, and then it got shattered to like 8 pieces. So they had to I was put under anesthesia, and they like put wires in it, and they kind of like collected all the pieces like a jigsaw puzzle, and then put it back into the rest of the joint, and then let it in there to infuse, so that it became a whole joint again, and then 6 months later they pulled it out. Now, because I started so skinny, my main fear, and it kind of still holds today, it wasn't of getting fat due to inactivity, it was to go in skinny again because I wasn't training. So I just kind of kept eating to make sure I wasn't going to get skinny. So naturally, I got fat, like very fat. But once I was able to move again, believe it or not, because I can lose weight quickly, and especially at the time because of the level of activity I had, I lost it in a month. I lost 6 months worth of fat in like 4 weeks, barely. It was so quick. It was a crash diet. I did effectively starve myself, but I did lose it. After that, 4 years in, I have spent the last 2 years from this diet that I just mentioned all the way there. For 2 years straight, I've trained every single day with no days off. I had 4 gym sessions a week, and I had 3 MMA sessions a week. Every single day for 2 years. No break, not a single one. I wasn't ill at that time. I didn't have any breaks. I didn't have any holidays, nothing. 2 years straight, I just continued to bang shit out every single day. Then, 5 years in, university. I moved out to go to university, and I actually had full 6 months off due to circumstance. The circumstance being, this was my school, and my accommodation was literally right next to it. It was like 30-second walk. It was within the same campus. And the nearest gym was like freaking 45-minute walk. There were buses, but they were expensive, and I was a student, and I was poor, so I couldn't go there. So I just didn't go. At most, I did start like an MMA club within the campus, so I did a little bit of exercise here and there, but overall, I didn't really do much. Also, I just couldn't be bothered, for being honest. But then 6 months in, I moved to like a private housing, got a flat, and that one was, funnily enough, right next to the gym. It did mean that I was now 45 minutes away from school, but I couldn't just not go, so I ended up going and even ride a bike to get there, which anyone who knows me knows how much I fucking hate bikes, but I did it. So I started going to the gym again, and I started doing Lazar Angelov workouts, like same shit that a lot of people do today. You just take someone random who looks like you want to look, you take their workout and start repeating it, which is dumb and it's stupid, but obviously I didn't know better. So I just did his workouts 6 days a week. It was a 5-day split, but you did it over 6 days. So you always had something twice. Now, needless to say that the week that I had legs twice was my least favorite. But yeah, I got really disciplined during the time. Like there was a lot of, my food was a lot better. I was cooking, like I would have a cheat meal like once a month. That's it. Once a month. And that was only because that was when because I was gonna do it on, I think, Saturdays or Sundays. So like when my day off landed on a Sunday is when I did the cheap meal. And it would always just be like 2 frozen pizzas in 2 meals. And that was pretty much it. So it was like the cleanest it's ever been. Well, no, actually, there's worse, but I'll get to that. Now, 6 years in, well, 7 actually, sorry. I brought it as 6, but it was more like 7 because I was there for 2 years. But 6 years in, I had a year-long break when I moved to the UK after university, which was in Denmark. I moved to UK, and again, due to circumstances, I was living in a fucking hostel for like 3 years, or 2.5, whatever. I was living in a hostel for ages, and again, the nearest gym was really far. So I was dead broke, so I couldn't really afford going to the gym anyway. I was barely eating. Like it was like the sleeping diet. I'm not hungry if I'm sleeping, if I'm not awake. So it was a lot of that. So I just did like a little bit of home workouts here and there, but I didn't get fat obviously because I wasn't eating. So I had a 1 year fully off, and then after that I started training again. I was kind of, at that point it was my experimental phase. I was just trying to find my way. I was trying, again, different work circumstances and stuff. I was doing a lot of extras work on like film sets, and anyone who's done that, like the food is abhorrent. The days are long. Like it's bullshit. Like you're standing there for 16 hours and they give you cake. Like what the fuck? So what I would actually do a lot during that time was like do stuff like intermittent fasting, like 24-hour fast when I was on set, and then just eat when I got home, or 16 hours. I would just kind of like try things out. Like I would be doing the fasting, training wise. I was doing different programs like 5x5 for a while. I was that guy who just walked into the gym, hood over the head, just do fucking squats, bench, and deadlift, and then fuck off. Like. It was all right, to be fair, but yeah, I was just trying to find my way, and then obviously the physique reflected that. Now another year in, 8 years in, I'm taking this shit a lot more seriously. Like clearly I've been taking it seriously this whole time because I am progressing, I am growing, I am counting my macros and everything, but like now I'm like in because I started working in the gym, so like I'm surrounded in that environment, and I was like, I'm gonna do a year-long bulk. I'm gonna lock the fuck in and I'm gonna grow. So I did a year-long bulk, got fat, as you can see, and I was like, right, well, now I'm really fat and I have a lot of weight to lose. So what now? And a lot of people around me started competing. Well, were competing at the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a really long diet and I need something to like kind of work towards, something to motivate me. So I just started prepping for a show. It took 10 months. I had an injury in the meantime. I fucked up my shoulder doing a bench, of course. So I messed up my shoulder. That took me out for a while. I had to do a lot of physio, like that kind of stuff. I had to work around. I still kept training, but I had to work around it a lot and whatnot. So yeah, I did the show. It wasn't because I was like fascinated by bodybuilding. I really wanted to try it. It was just like, I need something to kind of work towards, and everyone's doing the shows around me, so why not? Might as well do one too. Now notice in these pictures just how much fat there is, right? Like notice from going from this picture to this picture is from 90 and I ended up like 73. So there's 17 kilos, like 35, 40 pounds of that was fat. And I was still, arguably, I still had a way to go from this picture. So like, it was probably more like 70. So that's 45 pounds of fat. So just notice how much this is, throwback to the video when I talked about what it takes to get shredded. You have way more fat than you think you do, always. Now, 10 years in, so another year, I was at the time, I actually wanted to join the Royal Marines, the Commandos, believe it or not. I wanted to do that. But I had to wait because I'm not UK born, so I had to wait another year to be able to apply for a citizenship because you need citizenship to join the military. So I was like, well, I need to wait a year now. I might as well do another show because like I need something to keep me busy and to keep me physically active. So fuck it, I'll do another show. So I did that. So I did another show. During this year was the strictest year I've ever had because the coach I've had at the time, this was his style. it was just like keeping it super simple, super clean. I was just eating chicken and rice 4 times a day. Nothing else. Chicken and rice and oil, 4 fats. That was it. My one saving grace was in the evening, on my 5th meal in the evening, I would have a gnocchi and cod and oil instead of chicken and rice. That was my life for a year straight. On Sundays, when I had cheat meals, it was a very like borderline eating disorder shit, because obviously you only have that one meal, and you just go overboard. Like you go thousands and thousands of calories, like huge pizzas, cake, ice creams, and that kind of shit. Anything you can shove in your throat, you will. So it was very unhealthy, but also, and it stayed with me for a good while, I became unable to like not finish. So like if I had a pint of ice cream, 1,000 calories, even if I didn't want it anymore, I would still finish the whole thing, because I knew that I couldn't keep it in a freezer, because I would have to look at it every single day for a week. And I didn't want to deal with it, so I just ate the whole thing. And it stuck with me for ages. Like I was unable to not finish any treat that I had for that reason for years. Only like a couple of years ago, I finally started being able to just like, all right, fine, just fucking eat half and put it back. It's all right. You can just finish it next week. Like it was a bit of a mental. Let's be honest. It's not an eating disorder territory, but it was close. So, yeah, I did get in a really good shape though. So there's that. Then immediately after that, year 11, COVID lockdowns happened. So I was like 3 months post-show when the lockdowns happened. So my body's still really sensitive, and my metabolism's fired up. I'm eating thousands and thousands of calories just to maintain. And now, boom, we're shut down at home. I'm not moving at all, because at this point I am fucking fed up of the whole gym thing. It's been fucking 11 years, and for the last like 3 or 4, I've been in the gym all day, every day. Dawn to dusk. I would come into the gym, it was dark because it was underground in London. I would come out, it was dark because it was just there all day, and I was fucking fed up with it. So when the lockdown happened, I was just went, well, I'm taking a break. So I didn't train, I didn't move, I ate whatever the fuck I wanted, and naturally I got fat as shit, right? I gained, I think 15 kilos, like 30 pounds in like 4 weeks or something. It was crazy. And then it maintained for the rest of like so let's say within a month I gained 30 pounds, and then for the next 3 months I just kind of maintained it. Then the lockdown was over with the first one, so I lost it in like 8 weeks, really quickly, rapid diet. Then I maintained it. Then another lockdown happened, got fat again, another 8 weeks, lost it quickly, maintained it, and just kept going like this for like 2 years straight, because that's how long the lockdowns went. So I just gained and lost the weight multiple times. Then 13 years in, I went through a very bad breakup, and it did put me in a dark place, let's just say. So I took on my body in terms of training. I started pushing like I have never before in my entire life, just out of spite. I was angry, I was pissed off, and I was just like, I'll fucking show you, that kind of stuff. I was abusing the shit out of myself in that gym. I wasn't sleeping, just because like emotionally and stuff, for like a year. It took a year, this whole process. I was barely sleeping, I had no appetite, but I was just pushing through like purely out of spite, out of rage and vindictiveness. I just like kept going. I was like, I'll fucking show you. And it's the most progress I've ever made as a natty, despite not sleeping. Imagine what would have happened if I had actually been sleeping in that time. So I did get ready for a photo shoot, and it was my best look ever. This is actually like my peak as a natty, because shortly after this was in like summer, like August, and then come February, so 6 months later, I started with drugs. 14 years in, joining the dark side. I'm not going to talk about the steroids themselves. I already did that in the last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a very long video on all like the realities of taking steroids, what it looks like, and the side effects, that kind of stuff. So I did another bulk. Like that was the one that I did over summer, which was bullshit. 40 degrees Celsius, and I'm carrying around 100 kg, 220, like so much fat on me. It was brutal. Then I did a cut. Again, I wasn't getting anywhere near shredded, but like I did cut down like 20 pounds. It was decent. So like basically at this year, in the beginning of the 14th year, I'm committed to like a originally 3-year off season. Now it's year 4 because it got extended, but like a very long off season. So like my cuts in the meantime were not like to get shredded. It was just like I did the bulk and then I cut down a little bit and then continue bulking, cut down a little bit, continue bulking, right? I haven't really done like fully shredded yet. I'm close, but it's gonna come this year. So in that year, committing the 3-year off season, as strict as ever. Not like just chicken and rice in that sense, but like everything is accounted for, everything's weighed, everything's on point, and I have literally no life. Okay. 15 years in, first enhanced cut and a little bit of traveling. So I did do like a bit more of a cut that year, and I did travel for like 2 weeks to Iceland because I've always wanted to go, so I gave it to myself as like a birthday treat, but I was still training. 16 years in, again, as per the steroid video, I have been making some really stupid decisions in my life as consequences of being on high doses of drugs. It did kind of mess me up mentally. And then I did another cut, another bulk, and another cut. Obviously, at the end of the cut, I got to look even better, but I'm still nowhere near big enough where I needed to be for this show coming. So we did the 3rd year of the off season. So 17 years in, so like we're getting near the end. Last year, 2025, and it was a rough year, all right? I was ill for 4 months straight at the very beginning when I was supposed to be gaining. I even had a 1 month fully off just to try to let my body to recover and just like get rid of the illness. So naturally, because I've lost all this progress, there was no point starting a prep that year, so I didn't. We just postponed it until this year. I went traveling instead. I went to Colombia specifically for a few months, which was cool. But at the end, I had another month off. So that's, I came back, August? And out of 7 months, I didn't train for 2. Another 3 were when I was ill, and another 1 was like questionable at best. Because I tried in Colombia, but it was only so much you can do. Because I was going out every night, I wasn't sleeping. But I have learned to be a bit more balanced about this whole thing. Like I will do a bit of traveling, I have a bit more life. I'm not as rigid with everything as I used to be. That's helpful. But then I was doing like a proper cut last year. Again, not stage ready, but like not far off. And I did get shredded. It was pretty good. It was hard for me because it was a lot longer than it normally would be. Like normally I need like 16, maybe 18 weeks to get to this, but it took me like 30 because of the traveling, right? Like, trying to diet when you're doing all this tomfoolery in Colombia is not optimal. So it did prolong the whole thing. Then I was ill again for a while when I came back. So like this whole process got really long. At the end of it, it was my best look ever. However, it became abundantly clear that I haven't gained as nearly as much as I was hoping to, even with the drugs. I'm not going to be anywhere near my like the cap, like the limit for my weight limit for my height at the show. I'm probably, like reasonably speaking, going to be like 20 pounds below. Because for my height, I'm 5'10", it's 205. Is like, stage ready, really shredded. And yeah, I was like 180 at the end of this year, of last year. So I'm probably gonna be like 185 maybe. So that's 20 pounds below limit. And again, this doubles back to the whole, you're not as shredded as you think you are, or you don't have as much muscle as you think you are. I'm 185 stage lean after 17 years of training, 3 of which were on drugs. Let's call it 15 if you account for all the breaks that I've had, okay? I started at like 120. So it's 65, 70 pounds of muscle. That's a lot of fucking muscle, but like, it's still nowhere near enough. So bit of a reality check when you think how much muscle you have, because you don't. I can promise you don't. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. As far as what the future holds, I don't know. I'm learning again the hard way to do things, as they take things as they come, rather than try to plan ahead and then just get fucked. I am trying to do the show this year. Hopefully, I'll be able to. What happens after, I don't know. I might just stop competing and just try to focus on like a bit more balanced way of doing things. Like I'll still train, I'll still bulk and cut and all of that because I still want to get bigger, but like I'm not going to take it as rigidly and as seriously. Like I might train a little bit less in terms of frequency. I might explore other physical hobbies, activities, that kind of stuff. There's like a long list of things that I want to learn to do, but I can't now because it would take away from bodybuilding. So when I finish, I might be able to like explore that a bit more. But again, we'll see. I'm not mentioning anything now because I have no idea what the future holds. And that's it. So that is my entire fitness journey so far, 17 years and change. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or like, which year do you think was the most important, most life-altering, most impactful for me, and or share your own. And I'll see you in the next one.